Hey, welcome along to this episode of Nobby on Cars. This is the Mazda 6. We're going to be taking a much closer look at it in greater detail. What's it like to drive? Is the interior just actually as good as maybe something from Jaguar or Audi or BMW? And what's this car like to drive? What's the boot space like? And how I've been able to live around Dublin driving this 2-litre petrol for the last few days. So the interior of this car is really a class above the previous generations of the Mazda 6. Lots of nice touches around the dashboard and lots of leather and soft touch stuff. Really sort of high quality materials used throughout the cabin. The home button on the control unit at the center is pretty good. Like if you're lost in sort of an item and you're like, how do I get back to that thing? There is a home button that you can just press and it brings you back to home. There's also a shortcut right on the button there for the sat-nav. One thing that's kind of annoying is when you're on the move, now it is a safety feature, but you can't interfere with that screen when you're driving. You've got to operate it from the center console, which I suppose in a BMW would be called the iDrive unit. It's a similar sort of center control jog wheel that navigates through all the options. All these dials, again, in my head, these could be straight out of an Audi. You've got your options for heated seats, heated steering wheel. There's plenty of storage down here for things and lots of options to connect your SD card, USB, phone, auxiliary, and the charging point there as well. I've actually haven't sat in the back of this till I've shot this video, and there's loads of leg room. You can actually really kind of slouch back and maybe let somebody else do the driving for a change. That'd be pretty nice. You've got your center armrest here, that things there that you can store bits and pieces in, and it'll take a drink or two, and there's more storage down here, and there's even USB chargers for rear passengers. No more, my iPad's dead! Now here's another attention to detail-y bit, okay? Sunglasses holder, pretty standard, but I don't know if you can see this. There's actually kind of black felty stuff here just to stop anything rattling around. So again, that kind of stuff is impressive. Now there is also a more than generous boot size. Like that tripod is nearly on full tilt there, just to give you an idea of how much boot space there is. And you can also fold down the rear seats by using these bad boys. Many times this week when I've been in this car, people have said to me, oh, Mazda 6, yeah, I had one of them once. No, you didn't. Not like this. So this is the 2-litre petrol. It's 165 PS, which in normal lingo is about 163 brake horsepower, so not much of a difference, to be fair. So I've been driving this car for nearly a week and it's doing just over 7 litres per 100 kilometres, which isn't too bad for a 2-litre petrol, family size saloon, and absolutely 100% city traffic, stop start, all that kind of stuff that, you know, doesn't give a car a chance to sort of stretch its legs and improve the fuel economy. The lane departure system that is in this Mazda 6 is one of the best I've seen. Even if a car is approaching you from quite a distance behind on a motorway, you will straight away get a warning in the heads-up display. The wing mirrors, obviously, that, you know, that's what you've come to expect. But it's the ability of this car to see somebody that's quite a bit away and warn you about them. I haven't really seen that to that extent in today's modern cars that offer blind spot recognition. I mean, it's a seriously cool piece of kit anyway, but the fact that that gives you even more notice is just even better. A lot of cars, I find, the plastic along the side of the tunnel, where your knee generally rests off, can be quite harsh and quite hard. And in the Mazda 6, they put a little bit of cushion for the pushing for your knee. And like, I'm kind of grateful for it. You go, nice touch, yeah. Now the Mazda 6 starts from just over €30,000 here in Ireland, and if you get the platinum version with the automatic gearbox, that's over a 2-litre, usually 2.2, and a glass sunroof, you are creeping into the early 40,000s. This model doesn't have a glass sunroof, it has a manual gearbox, but it's just over €38,000 thereabouts. The keyless thing is a bit strange. So it works really well in the sense of if you're a one-person driver and you don't have anybody else to let out of the car afterwards. You jump out of the car, keys in your pocket, the car locks straight away, and the wing mirrors fold in. All sounds good. But you might have two kids in the back screaming that you've locked them in the car and they think that, you know, they've been bold and you're leaving them there for a little while. Not that I'm suggesting, you know, you use that as punishment or anything. You shouldn't. You shouldn't lock your kids in the car. But you have to unlock the car again, and like it's I don't know why it does that. Maybe it's a setting. Maybe it's a setting. Maybe it's me, not you. 6-speed gearbox. You do have to kind of wind it up a little bit. Like, this has a little bit more power than Mazda MX-5, but the MX-5 is a much smaller car. Certainly the 2.2 diesel version I've driven of this car in the past is a lot more punchy. I think it's one of the cars that's not an underdog, like it's a Mazda for God's sake, but it's not the obvious saloon car maybe for a lot of people. So one of those ones that you should definitely, if you're looking at this segment and you're looking at Insignias and Passats and maybe even the Audi A4 or the BMW 3 Series, like this definitely fits under them, but it's a bit more expensive than perhaps an entry-level Passat. So yeah, you got to weigh it all up, but it's a good car. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video if you like watching these car reviews. I do appreciate it. If you've got any questions about the Mazda 6, feel free to comment and get back to as many people as I can. I can now vouch this actual second for the suspension in the car. It works, but it's a bit firm. But I am driving over like the equivalent of Coronation Street.